Welcome to today's CELUM webinar, Content Sells, where we focus on the perfect customer shopping experience. My name is Isabel, and I'm happy to welcome you as your moderator today. Before we start, let me just mention that the session will be, as usual, recorded, and we will send you the recording in the upcoming days. Of course, we do have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation, and where we are very, very happy to answer your questions. Please write them into the GoToWebinar question box, which you find on the right side of the screen. We will answer as many questions as possible. Well, that said, it's now time for me to introduce today's speaker, Emanuel Rotter, CELUM's Senior Digital Strategy Consultant. Welcome, Emanuel. It's great to have you here. Please, before we jump into medias res, please introduce yourself briefly to our audience.
All right, I will gladly do so. Welcome to today's webinar. I hope everybody can see and hear me perfectly. My name is Emanuel Rotter, and I'm a digital strategy consultant at CELUM. I will talk about the importance of high-quality product content in e-commerce and how digital asset management can help you organize and easily access your product media. I will also cover the benefits of using a consistent visual style and branding, as well as best practices for optimizing product media or product assets for search and discovery. My goal for today is to provide you with some practical tips so that you get ideas on how to start your own digital asset management journey. To break the ice, something that I like to do at the beginning of presentations to get myself warmed up and the audience as well, I wanted to quickly talk about recent advancements in artificial intelligence, as it's also a matter of concern to CELUM, as we offer artificial intelligence extensions as well. So have you heard about ChatGPT yet? It is an AI chatbot that can answer in a way we have never experienced before, and it's really exciting. ChatGPT is all over the news, and it has reeled in its first million users within just 5 days. Absolutely incredible. For comparison, it took Netflix 41 months to reach that number. Astounding. So just for the fun of it, I asked the bot last week when I was preparing for the webinar to write a poem for today about digital asset management. And it's amazing what it's capable of already, even though it's still in beta mode. So here's the first paragraph. Digital asset management, a crucial part of our lives, helping us organize and store all of our digital files. So that's not bad, right? Well, now that half of you are switching over to OpenAI, registering for an account there, I will still try to convey some meaningful information to the remaining guests. Well, let's start off the session with some trends and challenges which need our attention to be able to prepare ourselves for the future. Consumer behavior has shifted significantly during the past 3 years due to the pandemic and now even prolonged to the war. And the resulting boost of digitalization goes hand in hand with growing expectations on customer experience. Physical shopping visits are in decline. Instead, consumers increasingly buy online, and as a result, many brick-and-mortar stores are going out of business. Unfortunately, online shopping giants, you know, the ones with the big A's in the beginning, are eating up large pieces of the growing e-commerce cake due to the sheer ease of use and their convenience. Hence, we need to improve our customer experiences for our customers so they stay with us. That is the driving force basically for why the digital asset management market is growing. Was one too far? A recent study has revealed that digital content has grown significantly and that companies with a high customer experience are more likely to achieve long-term growth than its competitors. And the global market for DAM solutions is growing at roughly 20% per year, precisely it's at 18.58% consolidated average growth rate. That's the term for it. And in 2027, that is going to be more than double the market size of today. So you see, there is a lot going on. So that is obviously an important trend for e-commerce as a whole. As we're talking about shopping experiences today, which is like the term that we chose, because it's everybody can has a perception of that and knows what we're talking about. I would like to focus on the more specific term, product experience. It is the most relevant part of a customer journey and the area where we can have the highest impact. But what is product experience exactly? I posted a screenshot from our blog where we formulated that quite well. Product experience is the part of the customer journey that focuses on their experiences with the product before and after the purchase. It is a mixture of sensory inputs that bring PX or product experience to life. But how exactly does product experience come to life? Well, as you can imagine, it's a combination of various sensory inputs which trigger those emotions. For that reason, the concept of product experience includes a customer's perception based on all the sensory inputs that are kind of triggered or involved in a shopping tour or in a customer experience, in a customer journey, excuse me. For example, the physical interaction with a product by holding it in our hands before we purchase it is a common product experience, and like the first one that we might think of, like pushing a bike in the bike store, sitting on it, riding around, but also viewing, touching, you know, all the other senses that come into play. So online, reviewing photos or videos or reading more information about a product, those are also sensory inputs. Physical and virtual interactions with product, content, and information triggers emotions. Not only about what the product actually does, but also how the product is going to affect your life. And now let's focus on the touch points. Touch points, that's exactly where a DAM or digital asset management solution can support the product experience. So that is where a digital asset management solution will strongly support you in your daily work, in your daily tasks. Just think about all the different types of contents having to be distributed and managed across a multitude of touch points, that being online shop, a website, social media posts, out of home, and so on. It's not only the data quality can be significantly improved with a DAM solution, also the actual quality of the assets can be optimized for each and every of your touch points in a specific way, in a specific size, quality, compression, and so on. So keeping an overview about what assets are actually used on those touch points, where and for how long, can become really tedious and time consuming. So managing those data points in a DAM like CELUM takes away a lot of the worries, and it will increase overall productivity, time that your team actually can spend on more important topics. DAM systems like CELUM help you to significantly improve your customer's perception, therefore, and of your brand as a whole along the whole customer journey. So now that we will go into more detail, let me point out again what Isabel mentioned in the beginning, that you're more than welcome to post any questions into the questions box. I think it's on the right-hand side here. All right, now that we have covered the basics, let me provide you with our list of tips and best practices on how to improve your customers' experience. Point number one, serve optimized content. But what does it mean? The role of product images is a crucial one, of course. You wouldn't imagine an online shopping mall a marketplace where there are no product images at all, because they enable customers to get impressions about the look and feel. Therefore, high quality and use case specific images enhance the customer's product experience and improve the visibility of products in your search results. So make sure you offer content that showcases the use of the product or the build quality as well, instead of just showing product images alone. And after the 7 tips, I will show some practical examples from our customers. Point number 2, provide more relevant product information. The role of product information combined with metadata in e-commerce can sometimes be underestimated. We often just think about the image itself. But when providing a consistent level of meaningful metadata along your product images, videos and documents and so on, it can go a long way in creating the qualitative difference to your competitors. It helps search engines and customers understand and find products simply better. In addition to that, let me highlight one of the most effective ways product information can have, or the highest impact product information can have, which is its use in Google image search engine optimization. So instead of just providing more information, think about how it can improve. That's where I'm coming to point 3. Metadata for SEO boosting. That's basically free advertisement. It doesn't cost any money. Instead, just the setup costs money, of course, but then it's basically running on its own. No more ad spending necessary. It can work great, of course, with paid ads as well. That's of course, that's also valid. Okay, so what does Google image search actually do? It looks for media matching queries. So you put in your search term and it looks for images that somehow match that term. So that makes it more dependent on file names, metadata, and other text associated with images. So what the Google crawler does, that's the little bot that is rushing around the net, browsing websites and gathering information for text search, but also for image search. So what the crawler does, it follows links to web pages, and on these pages, Google may find your images or other assets. And before storing the images, the crawler extracts textual information relevant to the images, such as HTML anchors, HTML alt attributes, text surrounding the images, image captions, for example, but also headline directly over an image and so on. Embedded file metadata, and also schema.org microdata. Google then identifies image features. It also recognizes what's on the picture, of course, and then determines the similarity between images, not only the ones on your page, but also those from other web pages, and excludes near duplicates from the index. So the better information your image and your web shop is providing, the more Google likes it, because it's more relevant than other search results. And before all, Google always prefers or pushes into the higher ranks content that is more useful for the end user. And now, because you have improved your image SEO, or the findability or the quality of the information along with the images or the assets, customers will see your products most likely first, resulting in increasing organic traffic to your web shop. And let me emphasize again that organic traffic doesn't cost any ad spending. So that's absolutely one of the biggest tips I can give you. Let's go on to point number 4. A single source of content. The benefit of using single source of content for products is that it helps ensure consistency and accuracy across channels and platforms. So best practices and benefits of managing and maintaining a single source of content are using a CMS integration, so you don't have to store images twice in various systems. You can provide the imagery from your DAM solution and simply just push it to a CDN and get it from there. But the single source of truth would be your DAM, which makes sure that only the right image is pushed to your web shop. Or another very important part, defining clear rules and processes that ensure data quality, because all data is in one system and you have your hand on it and you can make sure that data is accurate, up to date, and so on. Keeping data accurate, so by regularly reviewing and updating the content in one place with full control over asset versions and availabilities. Asset versioning is also a quite important part. Up-to-date visuals. That kind of is related to the previous slide, but I wanted to make that a specific tip. The importance of keeping product visuals up to date can't be overemphasized. It can help improve the customer's experience and strengthen trust in your brand. Just have a look on the left-hand side. As you can see in the screenshot, this web shop uses the same product shot, even though it is a different model. That's the Microsoft Surface Pro 5 and Pro 4. So there are clearly some difference in how the chassis is built and so on. So this can diminish trust in your brand because customers are unsure if they shouldn't buy the cheaper product if it's all the same. So regularly reviewing and updating the content, using automation and tools to manage changes, as well as providing latest and most relevant visuals to customers is key. As you can see on the example on the left, errors like that will reduce trust in a buying decision. And that's absolutely not what we want. Asset localization, something that not all of us have to deal with, but many bigger organizations have their products on various markets. So there might be the same product shipped to 10 different regions or markets, but there are slight variations in what the wording says, what the colors are, and so on. So better asset localization. Localization can help improve the customer's experience by adopting products and content to different markets, languages, and cultures. That's the definition. By being able to manage localization projects with the same application you use for managing the assets, or where you are overseeing the asset production and handling the review process, will absolutely reduce the possibility or the danger of localization issues. I'll give you an example. Our customer Rosenbauer, so they produce fire engine trucks, they told us in a recent webinar that their fire engine trucks that they sell in Austria are typically red. The same model though has to be yellow for the French market and may have different colors in other markets. Therefore, it's of utmost importance to them that managing the product related assets for all the markets is clearly defined and that there are absolutely no errors. And that's already the last tip, which is kind of like a collection of a couple of points, which can help improve your product experience as well. Is, for example, visualizing your customer journey. I just read a report that in 94% of companies, in average, there are like 90 different marketing tools in place, but only 50% of the features are actually in use. So still there's a lot of data created from all those solutions, trackings, and so on, which could ultimately help you visualize your customer journey. So say, for example, data from Google Analytics or other tracking platforms advertising platforms, marketing campaigns, email campaigns, and so on, and more can be used to build a complete picture of where customers engaged with your content. So having great content that is being put out to all the different channels that we mentioned and tracked on those channels can help you map down your customer journey and improve on individual touchpoints. Experimenting with different content formats to capture your audience attention. What does that mean? Now you have a set of different content formats, sizes, let's say images, PDFs, videos, and so on, but creating additional content assets to test around with them. Those might create new ways of engagement and also can boost the user experience. Think of a 3D view or like a panoramic view of the interior of, I don't know, your product, if it's a big one, or yeah, a 3D model. Speaking about user experience, improving user experience as a whole means making engagement with your brand seamless across all touchpoints. For example, making your website easy to navigate, visuals appealing, that's where DOM comes into place, and easy to browse. And now let me come to some examples from our customers MAMMUT and Scott Sports. Those are showcasing great use of what the CELUM DOM system can deliver to them. So have a look at MAMMUT, a real-life example. Instead of showing just one product image at a time or one image at a time, MAMMUT presents all aspects of the product on a single screen. This gives visitors a complete picture of the product and helps them imagine what it would feel like when owning it. Another example that MAMMUT has in place, they offer an option to switch between different colors directly on the product category page, which is great. You don't have to jump into the product detail page and then fiddle around with the different color variations. You simply provide a direct link to the different color variations on the preview on the category page. So users don't have to visit the product page and can directly test in the overview of their search results, for example, or on the product category page. All right, so giving the possibility to change color variations quickly, this can absolutely support the buying decision. I have one more example. Scott Sports. They offer a high-res image, which you can see on the right side. They offer high-res image zoom functionality to showcase materials, texture, and fabrication details. Another way of showcasing your products, for example, could be by providing a 3D model, a feature CELUM can offer via an extension, by the way. All right, let's wrap that up and do a quick recap. So besides the trends and challenges and how product experience itself is put together, we talked about those 7 steps or 7 tips. Serving optimized content, always keep that in mind. Providing more relevant product information, metadata, and so on. Using metadata for SEO boosting, that's my favorite, to be honest. Maintaining a single source of content in the DOM system, ensuring up-to-date visuals, managing those up-to-date visuals, remember, quite tedious. Handling asset localization, also quite tedious, plus the additional best practices that I just gave you. So my quick conclusion, it's just a couple of lines. The conclusion is of what we just learned, providing a consistent product experience across all of your touch points will strengthen your brand and increase trust. And we need trust so that people want to buy from you. You remember the online shopping giants, such as Amazon and so on, they simply have perfectionized or perfected the way they present products and make it really easy to have previews of images and then directly check out. I mean, the whole checkout part, that's something that your e-commerce agency has to deal together with you, but the whole part where the product experience happens can be improved significantly. And that's where CELUM Content Hub can be or could be in place, because it will improve how well your products can be found, are perceived with your audience, and are differentiated from your competitors. So get a digital asset management solution. Your team will definitely love you. And now I would say it's time for the Q&A session. Isabel, please
Yep.
have a look at the questions.
Yes, I've already done so. Thank you very much, Emanuel, for the insights and the tips. Out of all this information, what do you see as the most important point our audience should keep in mind for the upcoming shopping seasons, for example?
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing, having a DAM system or not, is definitely to think about the product information that you're conveying in your web shop. Not only would it make it easier for your customers to find the information and kind of find their way on your page, for example, by providing better product information that would increase the quality of your on-page search, but also for Google search. And another point that I could really recommend is, if you don't have a DAM system yet, to really try to kind of accumulate all your most relevant assets into one place, build a meaningful structure on your file repository, because when you then, in a couple of months or a year or whenever, decide to get a DAM system, you already have like a system of working that you could directly mirror on the DAM system and from there improve upon. That would be my 2 points.
Perfect. The second point actually fits to one of the questions we received, because it says here, isn't it complicated to add all the metadata? So can one automatically upload, or is there an AI to to do this?
That is a great question. Thank you for that. That's one of the points where a digital asset management solution can support you tremendously. CELUM Content Hub, for example, has the possibility to pass down product features, for example, throughout the taxonomy, meaning, let's compare it with a folder structure where you build your product categories. So you can pass down the most relevant parent information of a whole product category, like sports bikes, down to all the assets, all the different models that are on a tier below. Also, we have the possibility via AI functionalities, and that's why I came up with the AI example in the beginning. Certain image aspects, like what objects are on a page, on an image, or if a certain person is on an image, facial recognitions, and so on. Those can also enrich the product information. We had a couple of examples in our demos in the past couple of months that I saw, where we demoed to upload an image from Scott Sports, where you can see a bicycle rider on a mountain hill with the sea in the background and the blue sky. And the AI extracted man, bicycle, road, sunny, sky, and also Scott, because it was printed on the bike frame. So by that, you can already tag or give additional information to an image in the form of tags, by which you can then search imagery or assets within the DAM system, like the product name, or show me images, man, sky, see bike. And then it would already narrow down to those images that have those aspects in them.
Oh, great. So that's not only useful for the search function in the online shop, but also when it comes to searching for the right assets within the DAM.
Exactly, within the DAM
Okay,
system, and you can push this information via our API or CMS or webshop integrations, like into external systems, and convey the information such as those tags into the search index of your webshop, where it then is searchable.
Perfect. So the next question: can a chatbot shopping assistant use the metadata for their product-related answers? Would quite well fit into this.
Absolutely. Yeah, chatbot basically also relies on an API where it can access a search index and then give back answers that the search index replies based on the search term, but nicely packed in a like human-like answer. So that is absolutely possible. With our APIs, we can do a lot. We can you can integrate all sorts of systems.
Perfect. Next question also, if you talk about integrating all sorts of system, does it make sense to connect a PIM, an existing PIM system with a new DAM? Can the product information flow between the systems?
Absolutely, and we have many cases where our customers do exactly that. There are certain products, PIMs, that also have extensive DAM functionality included. But using a pure breed solution such as CELUM content gives you a much bigger range of possibilities on how to configure it. And by integrating with some standard integrations that we offer, but also via our API, we have integrations to numerous well-known PIM systems, which do the PIM or the product information really great, and they let the digital asset handling and information handling that's done by CELUM, and that's working together really great because we can offer the image compression, and the PIM is more in charge of, let's say, warehouse information and so on, and connection to the ERP system, etc., etc.
Oh, perfect. So we're slightly a little bit over time. To just wrap up the whole thing, it is for you, it's the most important thing you would say is metadata. Is that true?
It's one important aspect. Well, basically, why would you get a DAM? One of the many reasons, or one of the most heard when talking to our customers, definitely is, especially in larger corporations, but even in smaller SMBs, we have our product data lying in 10 different locations in our company network, shared with 5 different agencies, on 3 different servers, and so on, and nobody knows what is the latest version, who is working on what, is it the right format, when has it last been used, and so on. So getting all the information into one, or all the assets into one central hub, is really key, and it's one of the main benefits, or let's say the first benefits that you will feel as soon as the data is ingested, sorted, arranged, and enriched with data.
So in generally, everybody needs a DAM.
Yeah, of course you can generalize it like that, but judging from our experience, the sooner or later people will start thinking about getting a DAM, collecting information. So when that time comes, and when you need help to, or when you need a demo, please feel free to contact us at any time. You can follow us on LinkedIn. You can see who's working at CELUM, search for the most beautiful face or the most competent looking, write them, hit them up, or you can directly talk to Isabel's team from marketing or sales. Maybe Isabel, you can give a couple of examples how to reach us best.
Yes, can do so. Just 1 second. I will have to just share my screen.
Absolutely.
So obviously, being a good marketing person, I mentioned you first, but
Thank you very much.
the easiest way to reach us is by hello@celum.com, or just give us a call, ask for marketing, ask for sales, ask for business consulting. We are very happy to answer your questions or forward them to the right person. It would also be great, now my function as the event manager of CELUM comes into play, to welcome you again next week when we talk about how Switzerland Tourism summits their marketing peaks in an CELUM exclusive insights sessions with 2 guests from Switzerland Tourism. So that is going to be really interesting. One of the main topics, again, of course, will be content and how they handle it and how they produce really, really great marketing campaigns with their content. So it would be really nice to see you again there.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be quite interesting. You really shouldn't miss that.
Yeah, I think so too. So what else is there to say? Thank you very much, Emanuel, for your insights. It was great listening. And thank you very much to the audience for your interest and for your time. And I wish you a lovely rest of the day and hope to see you again soon, maybe next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.